Gail Brechting, the director of the West Michigan Concert Winds, and what a wonderful audience we have tonight. They go all the way back. Oh my goodness, let's clap for the audience. It certainly takes a village to put together these kinds of concerts, and last week it was 4 hours of downpour. So I think that's part of the reason we have such a good audience tonight. Wasn't that orchestra just fantastic? Yeah. Absolutely. And what a joy you're going to see at the end when we do our final number, that there's over 100 community musicians will be on the stage. Think about that. 100 people from this community play musical instruments to entertain wonderful communities like this. So we are really, really, really happy to be here tonight. Thank you. You're going to have a little history lesson, in a way, of different kinds of marches. And if my mother was still alive, she would love this concert because she loved marches. They were happy, they gave her something to do when she was dusting, she used to tell me. And so it was something she really enjoyed. I went and got a number of marches, Sousa, but a few others from different composers, and I want to give you a kind of a chronological study of some of the marches that go through here in the United States. The very first one that I'm playing for you, they're going to play for you this evening, was done in 1874, and it was an Irish-born composer who came to the United States because of the potato famine. His name is Patrick Gilmore, pretty Irish. My husband and I have actually been to the town in Ballagher to where he was born, and there's a lot that's being studied about him right now because Sousa even said that he was the father of the American band. He was the father. Patrick Gilmore was the father of American bands. And that says a lot for Sousa to say that. So he came before Sousa, but they did know one another, all right? And this is called the famous 22nd Regiment March. This is a march that he found there was a couple songs during the Civil War that he decided to take some of those songs and turn it into a march. And so at this time, they used to do these huge jubilees, which are kind of like World's Fairs. So World's Fairs were huge, and audiences of 15,000 to hear a band concert. Think about that. I mean, there might be around, 500 or so here. Imagine that many times more at the concerts. So this is entitled, and you will tell that this march is a little more simple comparatively to the ones we'll do later. It's called the famous 22nd Regiment, which was from the north of the Civil War, and he wrote this and played it on his first European tour as well. So, P.S. Gilmore, famous 22nd Regiment March. 1890s, right here in Muskegon. There was a march that was written, and it's very, very interesting because it's called the Hackley March. Imagine that. This, in 1888, Mr. Hackley proposed to the Muskegon Board of Education a site and $100,000 to build a library and a reading room. Raise your hand if you know where the library is here, this city library. I hope so. Okay, so the competition went out and 6 architects from around the Midwest did it. And there was a architect from Chicago, last name was Patton, that decided that he was the one that they wanted to do because the way he designed it. It had strength and hope, and that was what Hackley decided was important to him. It was built as a granite building, and you can see that, and you would find that it didn't come in at $100,000, it came in at $200,000. Now imagine that in 1888. That was probably quite a bit of money. However, it was a big celebration on October 16th in 1890 at 8:30 a.m. They had a concert. Now there were about 3 or 4 opera houses here in Muskegon at that time, and one of the gentlemen that was the opera conductor, his last name was Cobo, and he was the one that wrote this little march for the celebration. Apparently the library had 14,750 brand new books and 12,000 books that were brought out from the high school library. So this was written in honor of Hackley and all that he did for the community by this Goebel gentleman, and we had it rearranged. When I first found this piece, there were about 5 or 6 little pieces of music, and there were some violin parts and things like that, which would make sense if it was done by an opera composer and conductor. So we had it arranged so we could play it for band. You will hear in the middle of it, "For He's a Jolly Good Fellow." So be listening for that little melody that he put in there. So this belongs to you, Muskegon, the Hackley March.